Ah, the Atari 2600, the pinnacle of home entertainment in 1980. This particular model is a 4-switcher, meaning it's the third iteration, and the difficulty controls have been moved to the back. I'm not even sure if this one works, but I do have one TV with an RF input still. Let's take a look at it. Without any further ado, it does work. Though the image over RF has a lot of interference and generally looks pretty terrible, so we'll have to do something about that. I thought this was supposed to be in color, and it's entirely possible that the color black and white switch is just set wrong and I'm just not realizing it. But there is an image, and there is sound, so we have a working Atari 2600. So the 2600 has one output, and it's this RF cable, and it's not even like you can plug in another cable to a jack in the back. It literally goes all the way in and connects to the main board. And like any other modification project, we're going to have to open this up. 4 screws underneath, although 2 of them are these weird angle here, which I didn't see right away, and the top pops right off. You can see the RF cable comes into the case and plugs right into a panel mount RCA jack. That's handy. With that disconnected, we can take the board out of the case and remove the RF shield so we can start getting to work. So I googled around for a little bit, since I couldn't possibly be the first person to ever attempt this mod, and between different forums and discussion boards, I come to find it's been done a million times, and a million different ways. So I don't say Google for yourself and find the instructions that best suit your skill level. The ones I have say to build this circuit, which unfortunately included a 2N3904 transistor, which apparently I didn't have any more of on my bench. So a quick trip to U-Dude Electronics later, I have this. No cartridge. Gets a signal. That's all I'm looking for. Cartridge in. There we go. But I should be getting a whole bunch of noise right now. I'm not getting any sound. I'm not 100% sure what the problem is right there. And I probably should have been happy with this. I mean, it works, it's clean, it looks nice. Turns out the sound was just the fact that the solder I put to the sound output didn't really solder and popped up and off, so I just had no sound output. And probably could have been very, very happy. But I also found during my investigation that the TIA chip outputs Chroma and Luma separately. We all know how much I love S-Video, so a little bit more digging around, and I found that Longhorn Engineering had built an entire S-Video output circuit for the 2600. Only problem is I don't have either of the ICs that are listed for the board, and I had to order them from China, well, at least the FMS 6400, and it was going to take a little while to get here, but I did buy a bunch of them super cheap. So I had a little time to kill, and I might have gone a little overboard. I didn't really like how messy this solution was. Even with the RF modulator removed, it still left like loose wires flying around. And since I had time, I went and designed a PCB or two. Based on Longhorn Engineering schematic, I made a drop-in breakout board for the TIA chip. So this would plug into the socket for the TIA chip, plug the TIA chip into this, and it will pull all the things it needs off of it because I didn't like the idea of bending up the pins on a 42-year-old chip. I got as much of the prep work done as I could, and I just have to wait for the chips to arrive.
One eternity later.
While I was waiting, I soldered the ribbon cable between the two boards, And now that I have the final chip here, I can solder it into the board, install it, and everything will be wonderful. Alright, after a lot of waiting for this, yes, I'm starting this with no nitrogen because I want to see. I kind of expected a black screen. But that's definitely not a good sign. Especially the jail bars. The jail bars really look bad. It's almost like we put a card in. I mean, it's outputting an image. Those colors are nowhere near right. Not even close. I don't have the sound hooked up. And sometimes if I attach the sound. Okay, let's not attach the sound. That's very loud. I don't know. I'm like so close, and yet there's something very, very wrong. And I have no idea what to do at this point. Alright, so I'm going to call this video here, and this will be part 1 of 2. I am not 100% sure what I've done wrong. And I've been working on this for like 3 weeks now, and I really need to dig into it and see what I did wrong and see what it needs to be fixed. It's been so long since I put out a video, I was like, I gotta at least put out something, an update. What's going on? It's just, this has sucked up my whole life, and I haven't figured out what I've done wrong. Now granted, as I'm a big fan of saying, I'm not an expert by any means. In fact, it could be something as simple as I just screwed up my PCB design or something, and I don't even know, and I need to go through it and look at everything. And I'll report back to you with part 2 as we get going. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and press that subscribe button in the center of the screen. I've also got a couple other videos I think you might enjoy.